Hello everyone and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion and our Formula Renault 2.0 Hot Lap series. It's a return to Watkins Glen and the classic boot layout this week. There was a big tussle at LOA Towers as drivers clamoured to be the Hot Lap hero, so for 1 week only, we've got 3 of them. Rob Miller from Little and Large, Gary Richards from Williams and Richard Santana making his debut as a Hot Lap hero. Richard will be racing for the Jägermeister team in Season 4. Here are the conditions for the laps, although as you're going to see the cloud cover is pretty varied. Last season some of our drivers who can afford 2 setups said they preferred the PDS setup to the VRS one. Personal preference is definitely at play here at Watkins Glen. Rob set a 143.2 compared to a 43.9 for Gary and a 44.0 for Richard. We're going to analyse the 3 laps here and then we'll play them through without stopping. Finally I'm going to show you a chase cam of Rob's lap. As a reminder, you can find us at limitofadhesion.com, facebook.com/limitofadhesion, or you can tweet us at limitadhesion. Someone is usually around for a chat on our busy Discord too. Anyway, let's get nerdy at Watkins Glen with Gary, Richard and Rob. So here we are with the 3 cars then, Rob Miller at the top, Gary Richards on the left and Richard Santana on the right. Hope Richard's bought his rain Mac, that sky's looking very threatening, isn't it? Anyway then, so first thing to note, Rob Miller 189 kmh as he comes onto that main straight compared to 180 for Gary and 186 for Richard. So Gary and Richard need to find a bit more time on the exit of the corner compared to Rob, and that's going to pay Rob dividends all the way down to T1. So let's roll the tape. Here we go then, and if you keep an eye out for the start gantry there on the left, you can just see how much further ahead Rob is. Let's just see as they come through T1. So your braking point is obviously the change in tarmac on the way into T1. Don't get onto this bit of the curb which can unsettle the car. I think Gary just clips it as we come through the corner, and you can see that they're pretty much even Stevens as they come in through there. On we go then. Now, what's interesting is when we get to the top of this hill through the S's, just before we're about to get onto that back straight, so I'm going to pause it here, but look, Gary is already up to 212 kmh compared to 210 for Rob and 211 for Richard, so he actually had a slightly better exit from T1. Now heading down the long back straight then, nothing to do but have a little cup of tea and think about your future, which is getting wet if you're Richard. So we're just going to come past the inner loop now, which is the bus stop chicane. And now, so again, change of tarmac is when you start thinking about the corner. Now, apologies, it's a bit hard to see here, but yeah, Gary is now braking already. Rob, though, has just let off. All of the cars are turning in, but Rob is turning in much harder and trying to get onto that apex curb a lot quicker and earlier than Richard and Gary. And in fact, if we just run it round now, so that's this lamppost that Rob's just gone past, and Gary and Richard, you can see it on their screen. So that's pretty much your apex post. And look, Rob's up to full throttle, 184 kmh. These guys still in the corner. Gary's at 186. Richard's all the way down to 175. So he's losing time in this big loop corner. On we go, heading down to the boot then. Look at that, Rob's all the way into the boot. These guys a few tenths behind him, so they've definitely lost time in big loop corner. Now we come down to the heel, so they're braking just to that last board, and you can see Rob's already heading into the corner, so he's aiming to just trail brake and go through this channel nicely, get the car turned early and get on the power. And you can see Gary and Richard sort of heading their way in already. They're still on the braking phase and a lot further back in the corner. Coming out of the corner then onto this next straight, heading up to toe. This one you need quite a decent brake after you come to the end of this straight, because you've got to get down 3rd gear, in you go. And then 3rd gear again for this one. We have a never-ending wait on the way in. Oh, big snap of oversteer for Gary there on the exit. Second to last corner, absolutely flat chat. Final corner then. So this is where Rob made the time on the lap previously, and you can see that he's now 188 km and getting the car turned in. And Richard is he's closer to the corner now than Gary is. Gary's still at 199, Richard's still at 207, but he's already turning the car. There they go, fifth gear through the corner on exit. And Rob's across the line. The other two are now, so a 143.5, 143.906 for Gary, and a 144.003 for Richard. So there's a couple of corners that are nip and tuck for Gary and Richard across the lap. And you can now watch it again without me wittering on to see where you can see it.